Hello, everybody. My name is Sabine Horner, and I'm a grief nutritionist and yoga therapist. But in a previous life, I also used to be a legal translator. Now, when my husband died, I was not able to work at all. I think, and I actually know from what I hear and see, that very few people actually realize the massive impact that emotional stress triggered by grief has on our body, and not just on our mind, but also on our physical body. And it's just massive and completely and utterly challenging. There's no words to describe what we are going through. And this on top of all the modern day stresses that everybody experiences anyway. So it's a complete and utter double whammy. And it's something that needs to be acknowledged more. And the impact this emotional stress has on our body is just the same, the exact same that, all the other stresses have on our body. And one area of our body that's massively impacted is our digestive system. And you can imagine what happens when we don't digest our food well. We get all sorts of nutrient deficiencies. But on top of that, we also have hormonal imbalances, because when one hormone is out of balance, like cortisol, which is of course chronically elevated in grief, it affects all our other hormones. And I was pushed into menopause by this. Then we also get neurotransmitter imbalances because our gut bacteria also affected, and our beneficial gut bacteria actually produce 95% of serotonin, but also dopamine is produced by our beneficial gut bacteria. So our mood suffers. We get all sorts of cravings because of it. So grief is massive, and that needs to be acknowledged. Now, what helped me counteract the grief symptoms that we can experience because of this stress response, and one very common one is brain fog, is to go back to a regular daily meal routine, around 3 regular meals every day as soon as possible. Include more fiber into my meals. Gradually, I added more and more vegetables. And when we eat a wide variety of vegetables, we feed all the different sort of types of beneficial bacteria in our gut. And when they're happy, we are happy, right? The other thing that helped me was to make sure that I was drinking enough by preparing a flask of herbal tea every morning. Ginger tea is especially good because it improves our digestion and is really great for all sorts of digestive issues. And what the other thing I noticed was that when I was sitting too long, like more than an hour, my emotions would get stuck in my body. And when I finally got up from my chair, I was overwhelmed by my grief, because emotions need to move regularly. The word emotions consists of the word motion, so it makes sense, doesn't it? So make sure that you get the chance to regularly move about, um, during all the tasks that you have to do. And if your job is a sedentary job in front of a computer, that's even more important. Regularly have a break, drink regularly, move regularly, and have a warm, easy to digest meal at lunchtime. You can bring it with you to work, prepare it in a slow cooker, and put it in a flask, and then you will have a good meal at lunchtime. It's 12 and 1 would be really beneficial, because that's when our digestion is strongest. And if you're an employer, make sure that your employee has the time to do this in a calm environment to reduce the stress they are under anyway, so that they can better digest the food and absorb the nutrients, which is especially important for our thyroid that thyroid regulates our energy levels, and when we are highly stressed, it doesn't function properly. And then if on top of that we get nutrient deficiencies like lack of iron, that just like creates a vicious circle, and we need to break that one. And easy to digest warm cooked meals would be one way of doing this. So I hope some of my tips of reducing the risk of suffering from brain fog for longer than necessary. Brain fog is a normal sign of grieving initially, but we don't have to suffer from it for weeks and months and years. We can do something about it. So I hope these tips will help prevent it and help you to look after yourself well. Bye bye.